And we're here in Spa for round 3 of the BeamNG competition, and we are underway here for the third race in the series. Looks like the leader's got away cleanly, and it is blue leading the race at the moment as Lime drops back a couple of places. And red there is shoved onto the grass, and there's a bit of a kerfuffle there. They go 4 wide into the first corner as orange and red spin around. The rest of the cars try to make it through the first corner safely, but yellow hits orange and doesn't manage to make it out unscathed. This is the second time orange has been spun on the first lap in just 3 races in this series, as Cyan and green there go side by side. As we approach Eau Rouge, blue leads, followed by pink with a substantial lead from the rest of the pack, and then comes purple, lime, black, who made a lot of positions from the start. He started in 9th, cyan in 6th, green in 7th, red in 8th, 9 for yellow, who seems to have damage, and orange in 10th. Pink there just trying to pull around aside blue, but decides he's too far back to make a move as we come around the corner at the end of the Camel Straight. Could have been more chaotic in this first lap, but most of the cars make it through as red tries to sneak around green there, but doesn't manage to get quite the way around, and yellow goes straight on there. Yellow is straight on into the runoff, clearly has damage from hitting orange earlier. Let's hope he can just keep it rolling and pray for a red flag so that all the cars are reset as he rolls towards the track. Okay, so let's look at some replays of the start here. So first we'll look at the top view of corner 1. You can see red being shoved wide there and everyone's sneaking through. Orange gets spun around by purple, and black and green manage to make a lot of positions, taking the inside line, just swooping past everyone. Looking on board with orange here. Starts in 3rd, pulls up beside pink there. Oh, and yeah, pink kind of swerves across there, and orange was side by side but decides to pull out, and then gets tapped around by orange. You can hear the crunch of bodywork there, and all the cars scramble to try to get around, but yellow makes contact with orange. Unfortunately for yellow, it seems that it might have race-ending damage, but orange managed to get going quite fine as we ride on board with red now, who have also spun on the first lap but got shoved wide. So we can see here, zooms past lime, gets on beside purple, but purple just pushes red onto the grass. So purple caused both spins in this first lap, and then red just loses it on the grass and gains position going past orange, but loses much more there at the start. And we can see here yellow struggling with damage, red's pulling up behind, gaining, and then when we go to Eau Rouge, I suspect that red will make an overtake here with yellow struggling. Yep, yellow goes straight on, same with the next corner, and red swoops on by. Riding on board with yellow here, who gets caught in a bit of a kerfuffle at the start, and gets some damage because of it. So cyan and green go slowly. Yellow also gets pushed on the grass, and red tries to rejoin and hits yellow, and so yellow is blindsided by all the cars in front, and then hits orange, and then must have damage to the brakes. Now as we watch green, probably one of the better benefiters of the start, made a couple of positions starting in dead last, so slowing, cars are going side by side, green zooms past black, and after all that it's just able to dive down the inside for a couple of easy overtakes, and yeah, nicely done. You can see black there making that position back, and green swerves the other way to let cyan through without making any contact, playing the safe game. Now we're right on board with lime here, and lime gets a decent start, comes up behind purple, the troublemaker. Purple brakes, lime slows down, red zooms on past, and cyan as well, and then lime kind of just makes contact, gets shoved around the corner, gets past orange, who is spun by purple, and gets through relatively safely. Now we ride on board with black, who made 4 positions in the start from 9th to 5th, and we can see here a lot of heavy braking. Green zooms by, and then the chaos where everyone's 4 wide and spinning and stuff, and black just zooms down on the inside and gains a lot of places. Contact with the line, but it's all good, it's just side by side, and that's a good start for black. Looking from bird's eye view on yellow here, yellow gets a decent start, and then everyone starts to brake and slow, and cars are zooming about, and then yellow gets stuck in this sort of side by side. Red comes and rejoins, hits, purple spins orange around, and then yellow is unable to get around the inside and makes contact, and you can see the dent there on the front of the car that is causing a struggle of pace. Now there has been a rule change for this race, and this will apply to the previous races as well. All cars will now score points instead of just the ones who finish, because not enough cars were finishing, and so not enough cars are scoring points. So we've decided that everyone will score points, and that has changed up the current standings just a little bit. We'll be able to look at that at the end of the race when these results are also in. Again, a lot of smoke coming from the back of the car, but to be fair, it's happening to a lot of them, as a lot of the cars are abusing the track limits there, going over the curb. But in this racing series, there is no penalties because of the AI. Always will follow most of the rules. Some of the cars are making it legally, but not all of them. Well, all the cars are still in the race at this point. There's been no DNFs in the first lap, and we're good to get racing as the cars come around the first corner here. The tight right-hander that heads you down the long straight into a rouge and then into the camel straight. A very fast-paced section of the track. As orange there's just a little bit behind. We haven't seen much of yellow recently. I wonder where he's at right now. As the cars zoom past Eau Rouge, one of the most intense and fun parts of any racetrack that we're going to be visiting throughout as Purple tries a little sniff up the inside of Pink there, but ultimately isn't close enough to make the overtake stick as we go down the Camel Straight. And Cyan's taking an interesting line there, swoops back into the racing line. Lime now very close to the back of Purple, possibly seeing an overtake, and Black also pulls out of the racing line, and Black does make an overtake on Lime, and it looks like Cyan makes it past as well. So Lime having a poor run on the Camel Straight. Hopefully that isn't damage of slowing him down. A couple of cars looking a bit squirrely on the curbs here. You wouldn't want to spin because that would cost you a lot of track position in the early stages of this race. As we come around the 180-degree turn, Blue leads us, followed by Pink, and Purple has now found its way into the podium positions, despite causing a lot of mischief and a lot of incidents. Look at the replay of what happened to Yellow. So approaching the corner here, Yellow brakes at a good time, but just isn't stopping, and the car keeps on going. It goes right up and hugs the barrier there. That looks pretty bad, and it's extending the damage that was done on the first lap. But Yellow does manage to keep it going. And then approaching the corner where we saw Yellow get beached, and yeah, just can't stop the car and goes deep into the gravel. There's no coming back from that. Heading to the first corner here, Purple going a little deep and Black swooping around the inside, and there's contact, awkward contact, but Purple pulls out and Black does make the position in the end. Heading to the chicane, Blue with a strong lead, but goes a bit high over that sausage curve, and Pink is right on beside Blue here. We're side by side down the straight for the lead. Pink seemed to have gotten the better exit of that corner there as they zoom past the start-finish sign, and it looks like Pink is going to have the inside for the corner, but Blue hits the head here, and Pink slides down the inside. That's a change for the lead, and Green almost has to think about it too. Taps Blue, but Blue manages to keep the position. Green having another look, but ultimately thinking better of it. But that is big there. That is a change for the lead. Blue has lost the lead in a race again. And Green is still hanging around trying to challenge for second here and see if he can pick up the crumbs as Lime drops down the order in telemetry. Looks like Lime's had a moment or a crash or something. See if we'll see it in this replay. Oh no, this is back at the chicane, so let's see what happened. Oh, Red gives Black a big old whack and isn't able to get past, and there's awkward contact from all three of them. Lime getting caught up in that as well. And Red's lost it. Red spun. Black's coming around. Will Black be able to make it back to that position? Yes. Black does go right past him. Cyan would have been able to make a position if he held it straight on the road, but he isn't able to. And Lime's front of the car there is all bashed up, and Lime spins out into the gravel. Will he be able to keep on going? I don't know. But it looks like for the moment that he is out, but he's still ahead of Orange and Purple on the track, who are also having their own struggles. But so far Yellow is the undercutter. Oh, Pink is spinning. Pink has gone too much onto the curb, and Blue and Green zoom by and take full advantage of that. Blue has regained the lead back from Pink, who is now under pressure, by black as they come around the corner, but blue is your new race leader and has the race lead by quite a margin. Blue's also struggling a bit on the curbs there, but manages to keep it pointing in the right direction as we hear a screeching of tyres. Hope that wasn't another moment from Pink, possibly. As I was saying earlier, Blue had a very strong race in Hiroshi Raceway, but was spun around by Purple and was unable to finish in the podium, but he led the most of the race, and if he wasn't leading, he was around second or third, and he was always in the mix. And it seems it's the same case with this race as Lime gets back onto the track, climbing out of that gravel trap, but with the state of that car and the way he went into that corner, I don't think he'll be lasting very long. Let's look at the replay of what happened earlier to Lime. So we're on board here, and we're trailing Red down the main straight, and Red goes all across, and Green just gets into the grass and isn't able to slow the car down, and a big whack into the barriers. That's pretty substantial damage. I'm surprised Lime was actually able to get that back and going. So Lime will be praying here that there'll be a red flag so he gets a reset, even though he'll be at the back of the order, because I don't think he'll be able to survive the full race length in this state. Blue, the leader of this race, coming around into the last couple of corners. Green hot on his heels. Blue's had a successful couple of races at the moment, as we can see them passing a slow moving Purple stricken from damage. And Green is right on the back of Blue here, coming to the first corner. Hopefully Blue can learn a lesson from last time and be able to defend the position, but no, Green slips past in the same fashion that Pink did. Blue unable to learn from last time, but this time it is Green who takes the lead. And as a reminder, Green started last on the grid, so at the moment Green has done a last to first effort in the race, which is very impressive. But we've seen similar before. In the first race, Lime went from 9th to 2nd, but that isn't the same. That's 2 places less impressive. Riding on board with Blue here, trailing Green. Oh, and Green is spun and Blue is spun, and there's contact, and Black also loses it and hits both of them. And Pink is coming out of control as well and hits Blue. They're all losing it here as Red smashes into the back of Pink. That will be bad damage for both of them. They could both be out of the race. There could be a red flag here coming as well, so if they keep it rolling, then they will be able to stay as... Oh my, Cyan loses it in the same position. This is awful, and Pink is struggling to keep on going, and oh, I didn't see that. Further back we have a car flipped over and it's been red flagged. Okay, so let's see the replays. Riding on board with Orange here as we approach Eau Rouge, and it seems as though everything's normal so far, but we did see Purple in the collision, and oh, Purple stopped at the top of the hill. Oh, and Orange just smacks straight into him and rolls over. Looks like Purple wasn't able to make it up the hill completely, but that's very bad news because that's the end of both of their races now, even though it wasn't Orange's fault. As we look back at the incident here, all 3 of them losing it and just smashing into each other. Black did make a position of it, but it wasn't really off of his merit. And Pink also spins and Red crashes straight into the back of Pink. Should have been slowing down after seeing that chaos, but didn't expect it. But they both managed to keep on rolling just a little bit, so they both stay in the race. And Cyan will grab a couple of handy positions, spinning but not as bad as some of the others. And Pink has a stuffed wheel there. There's no wheel at all at the back right of that car, but still manages to keep on rolling. So we'll be included in the restart and still in this race. And then at this point the race has already been red flagged, but we can see Black losing it on the curb in a similar fashion to Pink early in the race. We're here and ready back at the restart. We only have 6 cars left, very similar to Jungle Park Rockers. We're underway. Green in the lead, Black in second, and Cyan in third. That is your podium now. As Red loses the spot to Pink. Pink is zooming up the side of Cyan, but it's Blue that will send the move on Cyan instead and get third position as Pink and Red go side by side. And we hop on board with Red here, battling it out with Pink for the final position of this race, but it's still a very high point scoring position. For 6th you get 8 points, and for 5th you get 10, so there's a lot to play for here as there's contact, but Red seems to have the upper hand and yes, gets a better drive off the hill and gets 5th position. So we can see a little tap from Black there sends Green spinning out. Blue and Cyan jump through, and Red and Pink also spun. So they're really struggling in this corner. There's been a lot of spins as they come around. And Red and Pink in a bit of a pickle here to not be able to get past. And they finally get going. Green swoops around but spins and red has to shove his way through there, and pink will gain a spot on red there. Unfortunate for red, he did nothing wrong. Oh, and green is off. Green is into the gravel. It's been an unfortunate race ever since he got spun. He did have quite a heroic start, going from last to first, but now finds himself stuck in the gravel and out of the race. Let's see what happens. So riding on board, spins, goes into the gravel, and must have had damage there because that didn't look very normal. And then the final lap. Oh, Cyan spins, is on the grass, struggling through that corner. That corner's been a bit of a pain in the butt for all of the races so far through this race. And Cyan loses valuable ground towards blue, chasing the lead of this race. So, Cyan and black were both on the podium last race with orange, but orange is out this time. Blue has never been on the podium, has never gone better than 6th, I believe, but has led races for the longest period of time. And oh, they're both spinning around that corner. Cyan gets the worst of the two, and black also spinning as he comes around the corner. And oh, pink runs straight into him, unable to avoid the car stricken there, and black will probably have damage, and I assume pink will too. Let's see if that affects their pace. Red gets a couple of handy. Oh, black straight into the wall. Too much damage for black, and he looks like he'll be out of the race. Pink gets 4th back, but I don't think pink will be very happy with that. Red into the podium positions for the first time ever. We hop on board with Cyan, following blue through, trying to get any sort of slipstream that he can, and being too far back to make a move, but will get better run, hopefully. Yes, Cyan going around the outside and making contact for the lead. Oh, and they've been spun. Thud into the wall goes Cyan, and red will take the lead from the two blue cars, and pink will zoom past as well. That's tragedy for both of them. Blue was able to keep on going, but Cyan has not been able to get that car rolling again and seems to have too much damage. We'll see if he can keep on going, but if he can't, there would be a red flag here. And he seems to be able to. Oh, there we go. Now the engine kicks in. Good for him. He will still get some points for his effort, but that's very unfortunate. It's blue going wide up a rouge. You can see the damage in the front of the car there. That doesn't look good for him. Another race run for blue, but this one you have to say is all down to him, all his fault. And you can see blue only making around the first corner now, so they haven't made much progress since their crash. And oh, blue goes straight into the gravel. Let's see if he can get back out of it, or else he'll suffer a similar incident to green, who fell into the gravel and didn't have too much damage but wasn't able to keep him going. So Cyan then makes up 3rd position despite being very, very slow. Oh, and blue manages to get back on the road. So I think blue will just breeze past Cyan here. No, it's on the grass there, I don't know what's happening. But if not, he'll just do it in the next corner, as Cyan is smoking. I don't think that's his brakes this time, I think that's his engine, because it's pretty consistent even on the straights. And yes, blue will just breeze by for the podium position of 3rd. Looking onwards to a struggling blue and Cyan. Blue unable to make the corner and spinning, sending smoke everywhere. You can see a lot of damage to the front of that car after the collision with Cyan and then the barriers. And it's trying to go backwards as Cyan does the exact same thing. These drivers are really struggling at the moment, not being able to put it together with a damaged car. This blue just can't stop the car and zooms on and smacks into the barrier. I think that'll be a race over for blue. Cyan will get a podium position after all. But yeah, that is unrecoverable blue. DNF. You can see his name has gone grey on the telemetry, signifying that he's out of the race. And Cyan hopefully won't make the same mistake as earlier, but no. Cyan goes the safe route and picks up a podium position after all of that. Green's still trying to get back on the track. Oh, red hits green. The last thing red wants to do is hit a fellow DNF competitor and have too much damage to complete the race. That'd be quite unfortunate as we approach a slow-moving black. And red's got to... Oh, red doesn't move out of the way, and red has hit black and is struggling now. That looks like bad damage. Red is missing a wheel at the front there. The wheel is completely shredded off, and pink will come around and be able to overtake for the win. I don't know how far pink... Oh, there, we can hear pink now coming through. Yeah, that is That's very unfortunate for red, and it looks like pink will zoom past for the victory of this race here on the final lap. What a dramatic final lap here. And if red can't finish the race, then Cyan will also get second. So red is going to have to try and navigate this last corner here. But as you can see, Cyan there crossing the line and finishing the race a lap behind. But pink will zoom through and win. And yeah, red can't even make the last corner. So red will lose second to Cyan there. But pink wins the Spa race, the only car still functioning properly. As we can see, green there in the gravel, unfortunate for him. And then we can see black struggling, who just got clobbered by red, pretty much ruining his race. Black is moving around but not getting anywhere, so that will be a DNF for black. He finishes in 5th though, and red had it all for himself and then fumbles on the last lap and crashes out. And then blue crashed Cyan out but got the worst end of the deal and doesn't even finish. Cyan still gets second. And with that, Cyan will be leading the championship with 45 points. One of only 2 drivers to finish on the podium twice. That other driver is Orange, who despite crashing out in this race remains in second. Remember, we have that new point scoring system where you score points no matter whether you finish, and that does apply to the previous races, so the order has been a little bit shuffled. But Orange is still in second with 2 podiums, followed by Pink with a win today, jumping up to 3rd in the standings, getting over Black, who had an amazing race last time in Jungle Rock Raceway, but is now in 4th in the championship, followed by Green, who has 32 points, Pink, Black, Green, all tying on the same amount of points, and then Yellow and Lime come next with 30 points each, followed by Blue, who has continued his run of unfortunate events, still gets 12 points today, and sits on 28 points in 8th, and then in 9th we have Red with 26 points, getting 3rd, but should have won and would have been in 2nd position in the standings if he had. It goes to show how costly that mistake was, but he is in 9th instead. And then in last place is Purple, who hasn't finished better than 6th, which is the worst of everyone, and has DNF twice, which is probably deserving considering the amount of trouble he's caused. But that's it for this race here at Spa. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you can tune in for the next race, which will be at West Coast, USA, the racetrack. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, share the video around so other people might enjoy it. And with that, I'll say goodbye.